All right. Good morning. Good morning. This is Miss JJ, Jacqueline Richardson, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. Today in Charlotte, we have a rainy day, which is actually a good thing for me with my allergies. It helps me drain. Like it's raining, it helps me drain. And all day, I'm going to be going like that because my head is going to be drained and I can get all of that phlegm out of me that gets in my head and my sinuses. But other than that, the weather is pretty good. I got on my jacket today. See the rain. So hopefully it'll stop raining before I go take my walk in the evenings. Hey, good morning. Before I take my walk in the evenings, hopefully it will stop. I hope. If not, then I'm going to have to skip today and just work out in the house. But it's okay. I don't mind working out in the house. Today, I wanted to talk about our thinking process. I noticed that a lot of people, they don't think the process out, And for the last few years, they've been having out this thing where it's called, you're overthinking. Sometimes it pays to overthink. Even judges, juries, police officers, they don't use their thinking process, and this is one of the reasons why I believe a lot of things go wrong. Doctors, they don't use their thinking process, and some of us, regular people, we don't use our thinking process the proper way. And this is why we have so much backlash afterwards, and we don't understand why. Okay, and then like I said, they've been forcing this overthinking thing for like 5 years now. And I'm going to tell y'all why the thinking process is worth, okay? The work is going to be for you using that thinking process instead of like they say, don't overthink, you think about it, do it. No, just do it. No. When we're going to talk about the just do it, and I think I talked about this a little bit in one of my other podcasts. When Nike came out with the Just Do It tee, I was back about maybe 8-9 years ago. Okay, I think roughly around that time. I had gotten one, and the reason why I got one is not because I wanted my mind to say just do it for everything. Okay, I wanted to. I'm into sports, activities, and when you're talking about just do it, meaning push your body, it has nothing to do with your thinking process. And we've recognized that in the days, these last 5 to 7 years, kids pretty much pick up on what they read. This is why I have a problem with some of these T-shirts and what they say, and what they mean. So when you put out a logo for a tee, think about what other people are going to perceive from this logo or this particular saying, okay? Now, Just Do It is for, and y'all know Nike represents sports. That's what they represent, okay? I've always been a lover of Nike because they represent sports, okay? They represent every sport there is out here. So with that being said, they're going to make logos that is referring to sports. Not for you to, if they say, jump off a balcony, just do it. No, okay? You don't just do that. If it says, go rob somebody, you don't do that. You don't just do it. You understand what I'm saying? You have to have a thinking process. Even judges, before they give their final verdict for a sentence, They can't just do it. They have to use their brain and their thinking process, okay? Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm noticing that a lot of people are not using their thinking process, and people are being convicted, people are being hurt, people are being killed based on people not using their thinking process. Now, I'm going to use a police officer, okay? And I think I told y'all about this particular police officer in Maryland. Shout out to Maryland. And, I wanted to also tell y'all know I always go back on some stuff, y'all know. This morning, I have on my Miss JJ Diamond, Private Friend Incorporated baseball jacket. And the reason why I have a baseball jacket, I never played baseball, okay? My son did, and this is what Maryland represented for my son, baseball. So when we got the jacket, me and Egypt, she don't fit hers anymore because she got bigger. Me and Egypt, we had baseball jackets, okay, because he represented Maryland. I represent New York when it comes to sports. I didn't do any type of sports in Maryland. I did it in New York City. So in Maryland, they represented De Jure. Okay, so this is why we have baseball jackets. He played baseball as a child, and I wish he continued to play. He don't know that he can continue to play. We have my Dominican family friends down here, and they play baseball, and they're on teams, and I want him to come here so bad so he can be on the team because he did a wonderful job as a child. So we're going to leave that alone. I just wanted to throw that out there. Should have threw that out there in the beginning. But I wanted to tell y'all why my jacket is designed as a baseball jacket versus me having a tee or, this is what the state, they pretty much gave us because they represent your Nay Heights. Okay, so y'all can get his music everywhere on all platforms. He's going to be dropping a new album soon within the next 3 months. So y'all look forward to that. We'll give y'all a closer date, soon. But it's coming, y'all. Getting back into the overthinking. If they say that, don't overthink. But sometimes when you don't think about something, you miss some things. Okay? And by you missing things, that can be the most important thing to help you make a decision. Okay? Now, when I got pulled over, okay, in Maryland, I'm gonna tell y'all this whole process. I was going to pick up someone, okay, that I was staying with because this is after I lost my house in Maryland. So I was staying with them, and they felt like because I was living with them and I had a vehicle that I had to come and pick them up, but I didn't have no registration. My registration had expired. I didn't have no job. I didn't have no money. I did have money, but it wasn't enough to pay for the registration and get myself back in order where I needed to be. Okay, my insurance had just expired, so I was like on the deep end when it came to my vehicle. Anyway, so she felt like, well, you live in my house, so you need to come and get me. And I'm like, okay. Now I'm like, okay, is the roof over my head or take the chance and go and get this person? So I took the chance because I didn't want to be in the streets, So I went in my car, and I said a little prayer and I started driving towards where she was, okay? So cop pulled me over. And when he pulled me over, he asked me who I was, and I told him, and I gave him all information about myself. I said, my registration is expired, my insurance just lapsed. I was on my way. Actually, this is what I told him, because I was going to get her and to stop at Labor Ready to try to get a job. And I told him, I said, I've been homeless, and I told him everything. And he said, okay. It was a white officer. This was down in Glen Burnie. Shout out to Glen Burnie. And I gave him my license and my registration. No, I couldn't give him my registration because it was already expired. I gave him my license. So he saw that my license was active. You know, he asked me to get out the car. I got out the car. He looked at me. He said, well, I'm going to say this to you. He said, you're not supposed to be driving at all. He said, and I understand that you was on your way to try to find a job. He said, but, and he was going to pick up the girl. You know, he broke it all down to me. He said, but the rules are you have to have a registration and insurance to drive on the streets of Maryland. And I said, I know, sir. It's just that she was, you know, pretty much forcing me to come and get her for the roof over my head. So I told him the situation, and he said, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the car. I'm going to let you leave the car here. You find somebody to come and try to get this vehicle. And I wish you the best. You know, you find a job. So he was writing up the ticket for me not having a registration, and I was thankful it didn't cost that much. You know, I think it was something like $90, so I was like thankful. You know, and I had something like 60 days to pay it, so it was like okay. A black cop pulls up, okay, and when he pulls up, he's like, "Did you call the tow already?" And he was like, "No, I didn't call no tow." And he was like, well, you're supposed to call a tow and have her car towed. Now, I mind you, at the time it was 2014, I believe. No, 2013. I'm sorry, it was 2013. And I had a 2010 Dodge Nitro. Okay? Pretty much brand new. It was beautiful, bright red for those that have seen me running around in Maryland or Philly or Delaware, New York. Y'all seen that Nitro, that red Nitro. It wasn't at all. So the cop already knew. This is where his thinking process was, okay? And this is why I want to explain this to y'all. Okay. She's 40-something years old. She has a pretty much brand new car. She looks healthy. She was honest with me for telling me that her registration expired. And she told me she was homeless. That was his thinking process, the white man's thinking process, okay? Now, the black officer, his thinking process was, who gives a damn if she's homeless? Who gives a damn if it's a brand new car? Who gives a damn if she doesn't have a job and she can't get it out of the impound? Okay? Who gives a damn? Just do it. That was his thinking process. Totally. Okay? Destroy the black woman. Okay? And that's the way he looked at it. His thinking, he didn't have no thinking process. Okay? And the reason why I'm telling y'all this is because, and I'm not saying every cop is going to do this, you know, but they need to listen to the people, think about what's going on before you react. Okay? I've learned in my business, in my line of business, which is sales and marketing, okay? In my line of business, you can go to work with one thing on your mind, saying this is what I'm going to do today. And then all of a sudden, you have to change it. But you have to meet a quota, okay? So by you meeting that quota, you saying to yourself, everything was at a halt, and now I can't meet that quota. So what can I do to try to get that quota met regardless? This is when you have to think. You don't just say, oh well, just do what you can do. You think about it, your thinking process. And this is why a lot of jobs ask you, are you a thinker? Okay? They ask you, are you a thinker? Because that just do it thing is not for everyday life. It's for sports. Okay? And I just wanted to break that down to people. You know, And even for negative thinking, when you have negative thinking in your head, you want to punch somebody in the face, and then you start saying just do it, and then you punch them in the face because you saw that just do it. No, you don't. Think about it first, okay? People out here that be wanting to rob people or hurt people, their mind is like, okay, I know I could get in trouble, but I might not get in trouble, so just do it. No, you don't just do it, people. That's the devil talking to you, okay? We're not saying just do it to you, it is the devil. We're saying that your thinking process based on what you see is not correct. So you have to think about it. Take a moment and look at the facts, okay? Just like when somebody gets murdered, okay? The reason why they do an investigation is because they need all the facts, okay? Every fact they can possibly find, they want to use, okay? They don't just come and say, okay, just because you was around this person, you are the murderer. No, you gotta look at the facts. Look at this person's attitude, the way they are, if they're emotionless, if they have a disability, if the person that was killed, what type of person they were. You have to look at their surroundings. You just can't pinpoint somebody and say they're the reason why this happened. Okay, you can't do that. Think about it. Okay, you have to think about it. You have to sit down and analyze. And this is what I do. I analyze everything I do before I even do it. Just like this morning. Okay, and I'm going to give y'all a breakdown of this morning. I woke up. I sat on the side of my bed, thanking God once again for being awoke. My allergies was acting good, so I was like, okay, that's a good thing. So it can go smooth. That's what I'm saying to myself. Because I know if my allergies are going to be bad or good when I sit up. Okay, so I said to myself, now, what's your first step today? First step is I'm going to take me a shower. Okay, so I get myself prepared to take my shower. While I'm in the shower, I'm thinking about my next step. My next step is, what clothes I'm going to put on and start fixing my hair and stuff. Okay, that's my next step. Everything I'm doing, I'm thinking about it. Okay, even though it's repetitious for me because I do it every day. And when you do something every day, it becomes repetitious. However, if you think about it, you get it done faster. Okay, because you already know what you're doing. Okay? And you don't make no mistakes. That's the key. So you won't make the mistakes. I drive Instacart, right? Sometimes y'all know I go out and drive Instacart, especially during the COVID because the people really needed it. And when I get a batch, I always want to see what store I'm going to, if I can see the person's where the person live at, and how many items that they have. Okay? And this is how I get through the store so fast sometimes. We beat our numbers a lot. I will look at all the items, see how much produce, and I'm going to think about it, and I can see the produce. And even though, like in Publix, they always move things, because they put certain things on display for the week that's on sale, so they move things. And all of the Publix are not the same. So it depends on what Publix I'm going to. So now I got to focus, okay? And then y'all may think this is crazy, but this is how I win, okay? I focus, and I say, okay, I'm going to say my Randolph store. I know my Randolph store. Okay, I got to think. Okay, I got a lot of produce. Okay? My produce may be mixed up in the front, so I got to pay attention to that. I walk through the door, go. Sometimes I can have 30 items in produce and be done in less than 7 minutes. Okay? Because I use my thinking process. Okay? I first I look at everything before, and then if you ever see me do Instacart, y'all, don't laugh at me. If y'all ever stand back and watch, because I know it's probably funny to y'all, but this is why I win. Okay? So I stand there first before I even go in. Okay? And I look at all the items. Okay? And see where everything is at, if they move something. Okay? Now I'm going in. Okay? And it's like if you was at war. You know what I mean? I'm going in. So I go and get my bags. And I'm looking at the products, because you want to make sure the customer gets a good product, because you want them to have a good experience with your brand that you're working for. And it's, I'm going to be talking about, and we're going to probably talk about that tomorrow, about respecting and loving your brand that you work for. Even though you are an employee, you represent that brand. Okay, and I think I had brought this up in one of my other podcasts, because I do remember bringing it up. But we're going to get into deeper why we should respect and love and honor, and not only honor, but represent our brand. Okay, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. So I go in, right? So now I'm grabbing all my stuff, right? And now all of a sudden I miss something, because it's all the way at the bottom. Right? Now it says I need some rotisserie chicken. And I'm like, okay, now this is going to mess up my time. Okay, so now I run over here and get the rotisserie chicken. I come back. Okay, now I see I got to go to the other end. I say, okay, I'm not ready to go down there yet, because I still got some more stuff to get over here. So I'm grabbing all my stuff. But this is how I do it. Okay, just because it's one of them jobs where you can go in and you're relaxed and, I can take my time and shop and find the stuff and blah, blah, blah. These people are waiting. That's number one. 2, the quicker you're done with the batch, the more money you've made. Okay? So if I'm getting paid $30 for a batch and I got 2 customers, okay? I want to finish that batch in less than an hour. Okay? And it's possible if you don't have no drama in between. Meaning if you don't have to stand at a counter where it's the long lines, because that can mess up your time. Different things. Oh, is that an owl? I think I got an owl that just pulled up on us. We get so many birds here, it's unreal. And I just be looking, what flies, I don't know what it is, but getting back to the thinking process. So this is what messes up my time. So I'll say to myself, how can I cut my time again? This is where my thinking process is coming in again. Okay, now as I'm still working though, and I'm thinking, how can I cut my time again? All right, now, this is when I say, if Egypt is with me, because she doesn't always come in the store with me, or she doesn't come with me. So if she's with me, I'll say, Egypt, take a picture of this. You go down this aisle, get blah, 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 blah. Or vice versa. She'll do it for me, and we'll go, and that's how we'll cut our time. Okay? But it took my thinking process. I tell people all the time, when I used to work as CNA, I would tell one of my clients that, I don't like to say things differently from what people, how they say it, but what she was trying to say to me was, it's good to think. And I know it's good to think. However, I try to explain to her that I think a lot. Okay? And thinking a lot can actually hurt you as well. That's why they came up with the don't overthink stuff, because it can make your mind tired. Okay? However, sometimes when you don't think it out, you make the wrong decision. Okay? When you think something out, you're going to get closer to the right decision. So this is why we're trying to explain to you younger kids today, think about the things that you do. You know, I was looking at a TikTok, and this girl was doing the TikTok, and she was dancing backwards, and fell over the, it was like, I guess it was bricks. But she didn't realize she was so into the TikTok and fell her butt over there. Did she have a thinking process before she did the TikTok? No. She just did it. I'm going to do this TikTok with my phone. I'm going to do this TikTok. And she wound up posting it like that, and she made the comment as, I wasn't paying attention. But if you would have thought about it before you did the TikTok, then you would have said, ooh, I could possibly fall over that. Okay, I'm not doing it over there. Or if I'm going to do it, let me do it a little closer up, so when I dance, I won't be bumping into stuff. Because when you're dancing, your mind is just focusing on the dancing. So you're not focusing on your surroundings. This is why people get hit, get hurt, when you're dancing, because you're focusing on your steps. So you need all space clear. But it could be a barrier in your way. And you forgot about it. So this is why you need to make sure that you're safe before you do this. She just wanted to do the TikTok. I'm about to do this TikTok. And she wound up and bust her tail behind the bricks. Okay? She could have really hurt herself. So, I'm telling y'all these things is because I'm tired of seeing people just doing it. Think, people. We want y'all to get back to thinking. We want y'all to get back to reading, comprehending. These are the things that y'all need to do in order to make it in this world. Knowledge is power. This is the strongest power you can have. Okay? It's having the knowledge on how to do something. Okay? And when you read and comprehend things the proper way, it becomes easier. How you get by something and you got to put it together, right? And some people will say, I'm going to use my thinking process on this. I don't even want to read. And sometimes they use their thinking process and it works out fine. Okay? But then there's some time where they may use their thinking process and they hit a stump. Why is this like this? Okay? So now they get the information booklet or pamphlet or whatever comes with it, paper, and they sit down and they read it. And it's, now I know why I made the mistake. Because I didn't do X, Y, and Z. So now they can put it together like this. When they were stumped, they couldn't do it. But as soon as they read that piece of paper, that knowledge gave them the power to put that thing together and get it done. Okay? That's why reading is so important. Okay? We must know how to read. A lot of people are getting back into writing books. People have stopped writing books. People going to continue to write books. But I mean, like, major people that was writing books had stopped writing books because books wasn't selling that much. People stopped going to buy books. They stopped going to the Barnes and Nobles, and then Amazon came out. Shout out to Amazon. That's where my books are at. They stopped. They came about and people was getting Kindles. So, and that's mainly the older people. But we need to get these younger people into reading, and comprehending and learning. Knowledge is power, people. If you have the knowledge, you can overcome almost anything. Okay? Thinking about stuff. And this is where reading comes in at. And this is why I'm bringing it up. When you read, you have to think. You have to imagine in your mind what you're reading. And you see the process of the writer. Okay? That's the purpose of a writer. The writer wants you to see what they're talking about in their vision. Okay? Now, a lot of the times you get a writer that will put their face on the book, or it might be in the back. Sometimes they don't, you know. But the reason they put their face on there is so you can imagine them writing it and their thought process when they wrote the book or wrote the story. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why they put the pictures there, so you can get a vision of what this person, their expressions could be, their look can be when they was writing this. So you can receive their knowledge of what is in that book and comprehend, you know, what they were saying or why they were saying it. Excuse me. So this is why they do that. You know, and reading is the best trainer to learn how to use your thinking process. Okay? It's like I told y'all, when I walk in the store, you know, with my Instacart, I use my thinking process before I even get in there. I imagine the store. Okay, sometimes I get stumped because I'm thinking about one store and it's another store. So as soon as I walk in, okay, I'm in this store. All right, Jesus. I got to slow down now because I got to get my brains going. Okay, where I'm going. This is over here. This is over here. I don't know where this item is at, so I'm going to spend some little time trying to find this one. All right, but I think I can get this done. I'm going in. And that's the way I deal with it, y'all. If you ever see me when I'm at work, and this is almost any job, okay? Even when I'm at home doing stuff, you know, I always stand back and think first. Always. Okay? Where am I going to start? You know, where's my starting point? You know? And what do I plan to get out of this when I'm done? You know? And people say they didn't know I can do things so fast. You know? And like I say again, when you do stuff all the time, it becomes faster. However, when you go in to do it, okay, you've already had your thinking process on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Just like the other day, right after a podcast, my significant other wanted to clean behind the refrigerator and the stove. So we went, you know, he did his part, I actually pulled it out. But he was looking for bugs, and we went to see if there was any bugs, and if there was bugs, get rid of them and start cleaning. Well, I had to stand back and get my thinking process going because I needed to know where I would start, if there was any bugs, how was I going to react, because you got to be ready for this stuff. This is a saying that y'all need to keep in mind. If you are already ready, you don't have to get ready. Okay, that's one that y'all should keep. Okay, so now I'm standing there and I'm waiting. We pull out everything. I got my broom, my mop. Well, I use Swiffer, y'all. I don't use a mop, so I got my Swiffer. I got my cleaning products. I got my bucket. I got my rag. I got everything. I'm ready. I'm going in. Okay, and that's how I attack stuff. You know what I mean? That's how I attack stuff, and that's why things don't bother me too much when I'm doing stuff, because I already set my mind to, I got to do this, it got to get done, and I'm going to do it until it's done. You know, and it all plays a part on my thinking process. Okay, a lot of people say that they wanted to know about how I do things and how I get things done, and this is why I'm giving y'all this podcast. You know, it's not that I just want to talk about the thinking process. And I do, because I want y'all to understand. However, they want to know how I get things done and why I do it so swiftly and get it done and I'm done with it. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm giving this to y'all today, okay? You have to look at it as sometimes you're going to war. It could be for 10 minutes. But that's how you got to look at it. I'm going in here, I'm going to take care of this problem, and I'm coming out. Okay? And that's the way you got to look at it. That's why I win. Because that's how I look at things. Okay? And I think about it. I don't just be like, oh, I'm going to just do this. You know? Like right now, it's raining. Okay, I want to go outside. I know I'm going to get wet. So why am I going to go outside? I know that's simple. But you got some people, they'll go outside with a hoodie on, knowing they're going to get wet and could possibly get sick. Okay? Instead of just waiting till the rain stop or get them a rain jacket and then go outside. Then they don't have no chances of getting sick because they have a rain jacket, they have an umbrella, they have rain boots on. The thinking process. Okay? It's raining today. So I need to wear a rain jacket. I need to wear rain boots. You know, this is just what it is. This is why they tell us about the weather every day. Because when we go outside, before we go outside, we need to know. Okay. And got, okay.
Wait. No, wait.
Here go Egypt.
Yeah, that's it.
She interrupted me, y'all, talking about school. So I had to stop that for that second. I do apologize to talk to her about her school. This is why they tell us about the weather. It's going to be 98 degrees today. Some clouds, 50% chance of rain. Okay. It's going to be hot. So I can wear something so I won't be too hot. They said 50% chance of rain. I better take an umbrella. Your thinking process. Instead of you saying, you know what, I'm just going to get dressed. I'm wearing this. And they said it was going to be 98 degrees, so I'm going to burn up. Oh, damn, they did say it was going to rain, but I didn't bring an umbrella. Because you just was moving. You didn't think about the process of your day. You know, and this is why they inform us of these things. Okay, traffic when you're driving. You may hear on the radio, we have a traffic jam on 85 at this exit. This is why they tell us. Because they want us to think and say, well, I don't want to go that way. I'm going to go this other way because I'm going to get stuck in the traffic over here. This is why they tell us. They don't tell us just to be on the news. You know, they tell us because they want to inform us so we can use our minds and say, well, I'm not going that way. Okay? When you may hear on the radio or the Facebook or the TV, homicide over such and such area. And you know you're getting ready to go to the market or whatever. And it's right in between. You already know not to go that way because they told you. But there's some people that just want to go that way, okay? Be nosy. But the fact that I'm trying to make is when you think about stuff, it makes life easier. Okay? You know, I'm tired of these kids telling me that life is so hard. You know, life is really not that hard. You know, yeah, sometimes we may not have the money we want or the living area that we want. But if you're alive, you can always get that later. The thing is thinking out your process so you can maintain where you're at for that moment. Okay? And being comfortable with it. As comfortable as you can be. Yeah, we all want big mansions, you know, and all its land and everything. But if we can't have that for the moment, we have to deal with what we have and be happy with that. And make it as comfortable as possible for us. And that's where your thinking process coming at. You know, people used to always tell me, Jackie, Deja, you know, both sides or something. No matter where you live at, you always keep a nice house. How do you do it? And I just look at them. And I be looking at them like they're crazy, like, what are y'all talking about? Well, it's my thinking process. If I can't afford to go to Macy's, I'm going to Walmart. And I'm going to find some stuff that looks good and put it together. My thinking process. If I can't afford Macy's and Walmart for little things that I may want, I'll go down to the Dollar Tree. I don't give a damn. They know me. I don't care. I'm going to go find what I need to make myself comfortable. And in order to do that, I had to use this. I had to think. And didn't I see this over here at Walmart? That look nice right there. All right. I'm going down here to Walmart. And instead of me spending $100, I'm going to spend $30. It may not be the best quality, you know, that I like and that I want. But for the time being, I'm going to go get it. It is what it is. You know? And I think about it. I may even run to the thrift store. I seen something. I seen this lamp. Yeah, when it was about it. That's where I'm going. Spend $5. Because I can't afford to go to Macy's or Nordstrom's or the big stores and get that $300-$400 stuff I wanted. I can't do it. Because it's not the time, it's not called for it. Okay? And this is what I mean about, you know, sometimes you have to step down, you know, in order to make yourself comfortable. You know, yeah, like I said, we all want the big, beautiful things. But as long as you got breath in your body and you're not stressing yourself, you kill yourself, you know. Yesterday, you know, one of my kids told me, he said, you take care of yourself. And I said, yeah. You see me all the time. What are you coming with this? What are you talking about? He said, you look like you're about 37 years old. How? He looked at me. I don't stress. I try not to. I stay in my lane. I ain't running with the Joneses. I ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not doing it. Okay? I stay in my lane. I don't stress. I don't beat up my body with alcohol and drugs. This is why I'm 50 years old and I look like I'm 37. And he was looking at me like, But I hope he thought about it. You know what I mean? He thought about the fact that he knows how old I am. He knows I'm a grandmother. He knows I come out here and go off on him like a grandmother. But when he look at me, he doesn't see me as a grandmother because I don't look like the average grandmother. And I get it. But when you're not stressing, you're working out, you're staying in your lane, okay? Meaning you're not out buying a BMW or a Benz, and you can only afford a Dodge, and you got to put gas in this Benz or BMW that you really can't afford. Okay? Think it out. Use your thinking process. Okay? Now, I know me. My budget is high when it comes to food because I try to eat healthy, and I know I can't afford to own no BMW, and I got to put premium gas in this thing. And I like to eat certain herbs and gotta have them. You know, I'm not adding no stress to that's extra stress. Because now I gotta worry about how I'm gonna get the money to put the gas in the car. I can't fill it up because it requires $60 in gas, and my car only requires $25. over here. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not stressed